Hello and welcome. So today I have a very special video for you because I will be sharing with you 7 top tier designer fragrances that are also part of my Life for Fragrances collection. I have within my entire collection several fragrances that I consider to be ones that I could never be without. They are very, very special to me for one reason or the other, whether it's because they remind me of a certain period of my life, or whether it's because once I sniffed them the first time, I was completely on a chokehold and haven't been able to let go. But these are just very special fragrances that I know will always be a part of my collection. Now, last year when I shared these fragrances with you, there were a couple of others that were on this list. They have not necessarily been replaced by new ones, but there's a couple of new fragrances on the list and I wanted to keep it short. So I am only sharing with you 7. I didn't do 5 or 10 because this is not about a top 5 or a top 10. No, this is truly the 7 fragrances that are lifers for me within my designer fragrances collection. And they happen to be top tier designer fragrances. So I won't spend a lot of time on each one because they have all been discussed here on the channel before, but I will be giving you some details. So before we jump right in, if this is your first time here, I'm Arahi and I'm your fragrance concierge because I'm totally committed to creating the best fragrance experience for you. I upload videos multiple times a week, and on this channel we love to talk about all types of fragrances. Now, if that sounds like the type of content that you're interested in and like a good plan, then please consider subscribing, give this video a thumbs up, and don't forget, leave a comment. Let's go, fam. So the first fragrance that I want to share with you today is one that is very, very special to me. I mean, let's just get this clear. These are all very, very special to me, but I'll try and explain to you as we go along why. So this one has been in my collection for quite the number of years, and this is either my second or third bottle, I can't remember, but I know for sure that I recently upgraded to a larger bottle because the smaller bottle just, not only did I finish it, but the smaller bottle really wasn't going to cut it, because when I spray this fragrance, I just go to town. I just absolutely love it. So the first fragrance that I'm going to share with you today is from Tom Ford, and this one is White Suede. So White Suede is a fragrance, guys, that to me just spells elegance and sophistication in a bottle, but perfect for the seasons of spring and summer. This is truly a fragrance that I pull for any time of the year because I really do love it that much. But I have to tell you that I really think it is just perfect for the seasons of spring and summer. This is a fragrance that you could make your signature scent for those seasons or just all throughout the year. And I don't want you to think that just because the name is White Suede, that it has a leather note or a suede note that may be a bit much. No, there is an inherent smoothness to this fragrance that I can't explain. This to me is a vibe of like calm, cool, collected, confident beauty. It is just an exquisitely done fragrance. White Suede is quite aromatic. And it has like a spiciness to it, courtesy of the notes of saffron and thyme. And of course, it has some florals. Now, within the florals, the one that I pick up the most is the Lily of the Valley. But there's also a beautifully done rose here. The rose is not, to my nose, like a fresh bloomed rose. It is just a beautiful rose. Something that makes this fragrance very, very special is, at least in my opinion, the way that the suede has been done, because it is a very, very smooth, bordering on kind of like not faint, but it is just so smooth that it's almost like a complement to the other notes. It goes beautifully with the floral notes, the spicy notes, but most important, it goes beautifully with the note of tea. That tea note, I think, is what brings like a comfort, not cozy, but like a comforting and relaxed and non-stressed kind of feel to this fragrance. I tell you, this one is a beauty. It does perform very well. It gives me 7+ hours without having to overspray, but whenever I wear it, I do decant it and I just bring it along because I just like to spray it and spray it. It's not that it doesn't perform well, but this is really not designed to be, in my opinion, an intense fragrance, much less a beast mode fragrance. This is not what you can expect from this fragrance. But when I tell you that that smoothness and that comfy feel is one that is just like perfection for the spring season, and one that will also go very, very well for your more kind of like formal occasions during the summer season. Is this a fragrance that I think is only for like more dressier or formal occasions? No, I'm just saying that during the summer when it's really hot, you could use it during the day, but you could also use it for formal events and it will be perfection. Because again, this is a fragrance that gives an air of elegance and sophistication. This next fragrance was launched in 2023, and from the moment I got my nose on it, I could not stop sniffing it, talking about it, wearing it, layering it. I tell you, I spoke about this fragrance so much here on the channel. If you've been with me from the beginning, I am sure that you will recall how many times I discussed Brunello Cucinelli's Pour Femme. Now, in case you're not familiar with Brunello Cucinelli, I have a dedicated review of this fragrance here on the channel, and it is one that you really don't want to miss because I also speak about the house of Brunello Cucinelli, which is a designer house. Now, he is known as the king of quiet luxury and also the king of cashmere, and rightfully so, because at least in my opinion, everything that comes out of Brunello Cucinelli is just effortless elegance. Truly, it's like you're not trying very hard because you are elegant, you are sophisticated, and you just bring on that mood in anything that you wear. And of course, that includes the fragrance. This fragrance is part of the original collection of fragrances that he launched, which only consisted of two, the Pour Femme and the Pour Homme. And I picked up the Pour Femme almost immediately. And I tell you, from the moment I sniffed it, and I'm pretty sure it was either at Bergdorf's in New York that I was just traveling and I went in and sniffed it, I ended up just picking up this fragrance. Now, very important to know, because credit where credit is due, is that the perfumer behind this fragrance is Daphne Bugay. Now, if you don't know who Daphne Bugay is, let me tell you, she is the perfumer behind incredible fragrances such as Christian Louboutin's Loubi Doux, which is a fragrance that I own and that I absolutely love. Many, many fragrance collectors love that fragrance. Another fragrance that she is responsible for is Jean Paul Gaultier's Scandal Absolute, which you may recall was just launched in 2024. And from the beginning, I just could not stop talking about it. Last but not least, she is also responsible, among many other fragrances, by the way, but she's also responsible for the Revenge of Lady Blanche from Penhaligon's. So that alone should tell you how incredibly special this fragrance is. This is a woody, floral, musk-based fragrance where the musk is present. You're going to get like a level 3 musk, truly a level 3. So you are going to pick up on the musk, but when I tell you that the blend in this fragrance is just exquisite, it's not a touch animalic at all. I do pick up on a bit of earthiness, but to me, this fragrance is more about the citrusy and spicy accords. You're going to find here the note of chestnut, which I pick up clearly, and it is done beautifully. There is some vetiver. So if you're considering, well, it has vetiver, does it lean to the masculine side? No. To me, this is truly a unisex fragrance. It may be called Pour Femme, and I've been saying that all along, but to me, this is truly a unisex fragrance. So you're also going to find some mandarin, some pink pepper, the vetiver, and when I tell you that that note of chestnut is just present. Now, something very important that I do need you to know, because I know there's a ton of Femme members that are sensitive to ambroxan, is that unfortunately, this is a fragrance that has ambroxan. So if you're one of the fam members that is sensitive to it, this one is not for you. But otherwise, I do encourage you to get your nose on this fragrance. Just try it, because I think you are going to be shocked at how much you're going to enjoy it. So this next fragrance, this is such a deep love for me. And when I tell you, this is perfection for the spring season. It will carry you into the summer, but it is perfection for the spring season. And one that, honestly, if you like this fragrance, you're going to be addicted to it immediately. And this one is special for my tea fragrances lovers, because here we find black tea and green tea. And I'm speaking about Giorgio Armani's Prive, and this one is the Yulong Suede. Now, this is a fragrance that was launched in 2021, and it is not an eau de parfum, it's an eau de toilette. But I have to tell you that while it is light, not faint, but it does have that, that eau de toilette kind of like DNA, it is a fragrance that does perform very well, because on my skin, I get really a full 6 hours of wear from the fragrance. And if I overspray, it may extend a little bit more. But that is not the beauty of this fragrance. It's not its performance, even though I don't complain about it. The beauty of this fragrance is the smoothness, the beauty of those tea notes that have been done exquisitely. Something very important about this fragrance is that it says here that you must shake it really well before using it. So as you can see, it's kind of settled right now, but if I shake it, and I don't know if you can see it, but it picks up like a different consistency. And I tell you, it just makes a difference, because there is a bit of an increased intensity in the scent of the fragrance. Now, although this is a tea-centric fragrance, because to me it is, because that is what I get from beginning to end, not linear, but because we're going to talk about that in a minute, there are some florals. And the beauty of that is that there's white florals and purple florals. And I pick up a large bouquet of florals. I question if there's not more than what they have disclosed, because I'm pretty sure there is. But to my nose, it is very clear that there is orange blossom and jasmine. I get them clearly, and I do pick up on the iris. There's also a touch of spiciness, because the fragrance does open with the note of cardamom, but in the opening, the cardamom receives like a big hug. I can't explain it any other way, okay? But I am telling you, that note of cardamom, which is so smooth and beautiful, opens the fragrance, but it's like receiving a hug from that green tea and black tea notes. And as the fragrance continues to evolve is when you get those florals. And those florals come in starting with the jasmine, followed by the orange blossom, which then brings like a sweetness to the fragrance that I can't explain. This is a fragrance that is not just smooth, but it has a sensuality to it. And I don't know how to explain it in any other way. I am telling you, there is like a freshness to the fragrance that speaks of like a smoothness that leads to a very sensual individual. To me, this fragrance is definitely unisex. I really don't think that it leans in any direction, but you can wear whatever you like. I really think that this is unisex. It is a beauty for the seasons of spring and summer. And oh my, will you feel beautiful with this fragrance. The next fragrance that I have for you is from Celine. And I have to tell you, this fragrance, I just don't know why it has not been hyped much more than what it was. Because when it was launched, it was hyped to a certain extent. But this is a fragrance that... I want to know if there's someone out there that really does not love this fragrance, and if so, why? Because to me, this is an insanely, exquisitely beautiful fragrance, and I'm speaking about Parade. Now, Parade was launched in 2019, and it is considered a citrusy, aromatic fragrance. This is a citrusy, with a very strong presence of white florals. And to me, the lead in the white florals is definitely the neroli. The neroli is the star to me in this fragrance. It does have a tad of greenness, but I am telling you, it has a fresh spiciness that is just beautiful, and it is very, very aromatic. This to me gives me the complete feel of chic. This is what I would define as a chic feel fragrance. I think that, oh my goodness, when you wear this, you're going to feel like you are at your very best. You are at your peak. And I'm telling you, there's just a feel here. It is a fragrance that is perfect for any occasion, day and night. It is perfect for spring and summer, but this is one that you could pull off for any season of the year, for any occasion, day or night. I think that this is one that you could also make your signature scent because it is that special. Let us know, have you tried Parade from Celine, and your thoughts? All right, guys, so before we continue with the last 3 fragrances out of the 7 that I want to share with you, I think it's time for us to talk about giveaway number 2. So let's see who is the winner of giveaway number 2, which is all about a designer fragrance. Congratulations to the winner of giveaway number 2, who will be receiving a brand new Jean Paul Gaultier Flower Edition fragrance. It is completely sealed, and I will be shipping it out as soon as I get your information. So please, for the winner, please be sure to send me a DM on Instagram with your shipping information, and I will get this beauty right out to you. Congratulations, and please enjoy. To the rest of the fam, remember that we still have one more giveaway, and it is for the niche fragrance, which we will be announcing this week. And we also have another giveaway, which is in Middle Eastern fragrances, which will also be announced this week. So the next fragrance that I have for you is so special. We have so much to discuss about this one. This is from Trussardi, and this is Limitless Shopping Via della Spiga. So with that long name, I always have to look at it in case you're wondering, because it's a very long name. So this is like my 6th or 7th bottle within the Trussardi fragrances collection. I absolutely love the DNA of their fragrances, and this one happens to be my very favorite. And this is definitely a lifer fragrance for me. Now, this is a fragrance that is very special because guess who the perfumer behind it is? Quentin Bisch. But in addition to Quentin Bisch, I want to make sure that we give credit where credit is due. You also have, I think it's Amélie Jacquin. Amélie Jacquin. So she is the perfumer that is also behind this fragrance, you know, working together with Quentin Bisch. But when I tell you, have you tried this fragrance? Because I know that many people have tried this fragrance. I know that this was hyped to a certain extent, but in my opinion, not enough, because this is truly, wow, an incredibly beautiful fragrance that is a powerhouse like most Trussardi fragrances. So here's the thing about this one. So for me, this is a rarity, right? Because typically, you do find the note of honey in certain fragrances, but to me, this fragrance is honey-centric. Now, I have shared with you before that to me, the note of honey is not one that's easy to get right in a fragrance. But here, it is done to perfection. So here you have not just the note of honey, but you also have honeycomb. Then for the florals, you have heliotrope, which is not very easy to just go along with anything. But here it's been done beautifully and works nicely with the honey notes. Now, in addition to that, you have some fruity notes, and the queen or the king of the fruity notes is the note of apple. And it's not a red apple, it is a green apple, and it is very clear to my nose that it is green. This is a fragrance that to me is unisex truly, but leaning a tad to the feminine side. But again, please use whatever makes you happy. This is, of course, perfection for the spring season. It will take you into the summer, through the summer, and honestly, you could probably pull this and use it all throughout the year. Because when I tell you this fragrance is just a beauty, it will also get you quite the number of compliments because it has a very strong sillage. And again, it borders on beast. It is really a powerhouse. Let us know, have you tried this beauty and your thoughts? The next fragrance that I have for you, I'm not going to spend a lot of time on because not only have I fully reviewed this fragrance here on the channel, but I have talked about this fragrance so much. I have it in shorts, I have it in long format videos. I am telling you because I am just absolutely in love with Bvlgari's Spettacolore. Now, I know that many people talk about Bacciami, but I'm here to tell you, if you are a purple florals lover and you haven't gotten your nose on Spettacolore, you are truly missing out, believe me. This fragrance is all about the iris and the violet, and it is very, very clear. There's a good bit of vanilla in the fragrance, and it is just a bit powdery. It's not super powdery. It's not like a tiny bit powdery. It's just like a decent powdery type of fragrance, because when you talk about iris and violet, you're probably immediately thinking, oh, is it super powdery? No, it is a powdery fragrance. But in addition to that, this is a fragrance that also has a hint of spiciness coming from the note of myrrh. And I don't know about you, but I just love a nicely done note of myrrh. I have to say that myrrh and ginger and even a touch of frankincense are like my favorite spicy notes. And here, the myrrh is just perfection with those florals and the vanilla. This is a fragrance that was launched in 2022. And from the moment it was launched and I sniffed it, number one, I had to pick it up. Number two, it is just a beauty. I shared this fragrance with you quite a bit last year. And I am telling you, if you have tried this fragrance, please let us know how you feel about it, because I do know that several Femme members did pick it up. But I tell you, this one is for sure a lifer for me. Spettacolore. So I figured let's end on a high note. And this next fragrance, if there is one fragrance, guys, that is super intoxicating, that will keep you on a chokehold continuously and will not let go, it is this next fragrance. And I'm speaking about Louis Vuitton, and this one is Stellar Times. So I have to tell you guys, I have a story around this fragrance. So when this fragrance was launched, I did get my nose on it. I loved it immediately. But for some reason, I picked up like a decant. No, I didn't pick it up. I had a friend who gave me a decant, and it was a good sized decant. And I used it. I loved it. I got myself another decant. I used it. I loved it. I had several samples from going in store to purchase other items. They would give me like a sample. And I have to tell you that it took me all of this time. I think this one was launched like in 2022. And it took me until recently, not too long ago, to just go ahead and pick up the bottle. I have no explanation for it, but I am telling you that it took me that long. But when I tell you that this one is a lifer, this is a fragrance that is truly focused on white florals. And within those white florals, I can't clearly distinguish which one is like the star or the lead of the white florals, because that is the beauty of this fragrance. It's blend. It is very ambery at the dry down with those white florals and some woodiness in the background. The woodiness is present. The white florals are present, but I am telling you, I can't distinguish any specific note, which is what I love about this fragrance. But curiously enough, it's not a linear olfactory journey. You know, there is like an opening where you're going to get those white florals. There's a touch of woodiness in the opening that intensifies, and then at dry down, you get the full-on woodiness. But I tell you, this is just such an experience, guys. The fragrance is sweet, but not too sweet. But something that you do need to know is that this is a fragrance that has a soapy quality to it. So if you are not into soapy fragrances, then this one, you may want to try it first before deciding to pick it up or picking up anything, including a decant, because I am telling you, this is a fragrance that does have a soapy quality to it. But the dry down, in addition to being soapy, a bit soapy, is sweet, not very sweet. It has the white florals and it has that woodiness on a very ambery base kind of fragrance. To me, this is truly a unisex fragrance that you can use all throughout the year, guys. For any occasion, day or night, you can dress it up, you can dress it down. And this is a fragrance that on my skin borders on beast. I really have not really oversprayed it. I do tend to spray it, you know, like if I've been using it for most of the day, then I'll respray it because I love it that much. But I never truly have really oversprayed it because I have a feeling that it would be a bit much, because it does give me 8+ hours with a very strong projection during a bit over the first 2 hours. And it does have a sillage that will get you noticed. It will allow you to sniff yourself, and it will allow others around you to definitely pick up on it. I tell you, I am so glad that I finally, you know, made the decision and picked it up. It is very pricey, but when I tell you that this is one worth like saving for and picking it up, but I would not blind buy it. And simply because at this price point, I don't recommend that you blind buy anything. I really think that this is a fragrance that you need to go in store and try, spray it on skin, walk around the mall, do whatever you need to do, but please try it first, because all of their fragrances, the fragrances in this collection within Louis Vuitton are just exquisite. I do own several of them, but this one is my favorite, and it is definitely a lifer. All right, guys, so that's all I had for you today. And this has been such a pleasurable video for me to film, because I have to tell you, anytime I get the opportunity to sniff those fragrances, and of course, while sitting here in between takes, I would like spray here, spray there, because I tell you, the love is real. And I don't get the opportunity much to pull them and just spray them and just spend the day with them, because, you know, I'm always preparing and always trying other fragrances. But anyway, I hope that it was as enjoyable for you and valuable as it is for me. And as always, thank you so much for hanging with me today, and I will see you all in the next video.